Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. In our previous videos, we have seen multiple ways to declare or set the variable in Terraform. Now, let's look at what would be the precedence of the variables in case if the variables are set up at multiple places. For example, if a single variable is been set up from the command line or from the as an environment variable, or it is set up as in inside the tfvar files, then what would be the precedence of, or what would be the order of precedence for the variables at the runtime. Let's look at that as in demonstration. So I'll be using the same project wherein I have three variables: resource group name, location name, and client secret. Let's say that the location name is been declared in multiple places. For example, location is currently declared here as in the reserve file, which is terraform.tf file, which is a reserve file. Then we have a location which is declared here in the auto var files. And what if I declare the variable in my environment variable as well, which is a user environment variable in the environment variable as well. For example, I have already set the location variable as an environment variable, which I can get it with this command. You can see that the location variable here as an environment variable, I've set the value as London. Common variable I've set as India, or I should say from common auto file, right? Here I should say that from Terraform tfvar. Okay, and then we also have a default value of the location which is defined at the time of declaring the variable. Now let's run our Terraform plan command and see what is the value we are retrieving or we are getting it when the Terraform program runs. So I'll run Terraform plan. As you can see that the precedence or very top precedence, it goes to the auto files, which is a star.auto.tfvar file. So any value which you provide on this auto tfvar file, that has the highest precedence. As you can see, it is returning it from that particular file. Let's for now comment this out and we'll see what would be the next highest precedence to the location variables. I'll clean this up. I'll run again. This time this is commented out. Okay, now the next thing what we can do is we can provide the Terraform variable values from the command line, like -var -file -var equals to location, which is the name of the variable, and I am going to say from command line. Okay, let's see how does it works. As you can see that we have the variables everywhere. The same variable is defined everywhere. It's defined in the auto tf variable files. It is defined inside the terraform.tfvar files. It is defined as the environment variable as well. And then finally we are passing the variable value as this. So the highest precedence to the variable goes to the command line argument. So if you are passing the variable value as in command line, then it takes the highest precedence. Now let's do not pass the variable from the command line and see and run the command and see what would be the next precedence it goes. Does it goes to the environment variable or the terraform.tfvar or the common auto tfvar? So the next, which is the second highest precedence, goes to the common auto file because our variable value is defined in the auto file. So it is taking the next highest precedence, right? So now let's comment this out and see what would be the next precedence goes to in case of I run the Terraform plan command again. The next precedence it is going to take is from the Terraform var file, which is this. So we have the value defined here as well. That's why it is taking the value right here from this particular section. Now let's comment this out and rerun our Terraform plan command. So to see what would be the next highest precedence available with the Terraform variables. So this time I don't have the value here, I don't have the value here either, and I don't have the value from the command line. So next precedence, which is the third highest precedence, it is taking as in fourth highest precedent, I should say, it is taking as the environment variables, because I know my environment variable has the value as in London. As you can see, if I run the environment variable get command, it returns the value London, so it is returning the value right from there. Now if I remove the environment variable from the section, so for example if I set this as blank, and now if I run the Terraform plan, let's see what value it returns. As you can see, this time it is returning the value from the default variable value which we have at the time of defining the variable, which is this value. So I hope this gives you some clarity about the precedence or the execution of the variables. And this is, by the way, a very important question for the interview, and it is mostly asking in your interview in Terraform that what would be the precedence of the variable execution. So just to revise, this would be the precedence order starting from highest to the least precedence, most to the least precedence. Command line would have the most precedence, then we have the star.auto tfvar, and then we have the tfvar files, any tfvar files. Next we have the environment variables if the variable value has declared as an environment variable, or at the last we have the default value of the variable which has been declared. I hope this gives you some clarity about how the execution of the Terraform variable happens.